We back again. Day 6 of the trial. Live coverage. Let's talk about it. You know, the more they bring these witnesses in, the more you realize how many hurt women there are in the world, where people just come on to say whatever. Dawn Richards. They had her on Friday. She's supposed to be back to testify again. I'll give you guys a bunch of updates on what's going on with the case. Dawn Richards pretty much returns to the stand at Diddy trial. She's supposed to be some former pop artist or singer, whatever the case is. Just another bitter person. And the amazing thing about this is that she was testifying that she witnessed Diddy doing this and Diddy doing that years ago. But for whatever reason, when this happened, no one didn't care. But all of a sudden in 2025, it matters. It's amazing. And the photos they be taking when they do these reports, as if though she's getting justice for all women that are hurt. I'm gonna give you guys a lot of updates. I'm kind of late, but the show must go on. So, about 2 hours ago, they made a couple of updates on this website. We're gonna read all the updates. We're gonna talk about a lot of different things. And understand that on this channel, you're getting a fair and balanced approach to this case. All the other YouTube channels, Instagram pages, TikTok pages, Facebook Live, Twitter, whatever. All of these places are just focusing on making you hate Diddy. All they're focusing on is turning accusations and allegations into facts. And they just keep wasting your time. So, at the end of the day, let's get into this thing, break this thing down. Make sure you hit that like button one time too. So it goes on and it says, Dawn Richards, a singer from the former girl pop group, Diddy Kane, is expected to continue her testimony Monday in Sean Diddy Combs in federal trial. On Friday, Richards detailed in 2009 incident in which she said she witnessed Combs assault his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, with a frying pan. So let me get this straight. You witnessed Diddy attack Cassie with a frying pan. And you're now talking about it. I mean, I don't know where they find these people, guys. I can remember me throwing a piggy bank at my brother and busting his head. That makes me a criminal? Should I be on trial? We're listening to testimony and nonsense and hearsay from 2009 in 2025. So she said that she witnessed this incident, 2009 incident in which she said that she witnessed Combs assault his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, with a frying pan. The following day, Richards alleged Combs told her the violence she saw was passion. And she claimed he threatened that where he comes from, people who say something can end up missing. You really believe that? So let me get this straight. He hit Cassie with a frying pan. You witness it. And right after you realize that what you did was in front of this other woman, you're gonna call her to the side and make a threat and say, now keep in mind, you're a media mogul, and you're gonna tell her, where I'm from, people go missing. Now, what exactly are they doing when they're using this woman to testify? What they're trying to say is that, and they may bring up Kim Porter and how she died. They may bring up the Kid Cudi situation with the car being blown up. And they may try to use this because what they're doing is they're painting a picture of where I come from. In Diddy's words, allegedly, people go missing. So that's what they're really trying to do. They're trying to make you believe that he have the potential to harm people and kill people. Now, it may be true that there may be some people that he got rid of. But at the same time, there's a lot of people in the industry that got rid of by a lot of people in high places. And we don't hear nothing about their cases. A lot of singers, rappers, and producers been put to rest. And up to now, nobody don't know who their killers are. Because when you got money, you could pay people off. So it says, where I come from, people who say something can end up missing. It was unclear how much of her testimony from Friday will be admissible, because some can be inadmissible. Richards, who first met Combs in 2004 on the set of his MTV reality competition show. Now notice this. She first met Combs in 2004 on his MTV reality competition show. Do you see how you have to keep your circle small? A lot of people you try to help in this day will eventually turn against you. A lot of people tend to bite the hand that feed them. And this is why it's very important, as a man or a woman, that you be careful of the people you try to help. Sometimes you really try to genuinely help people, give them a shot, and they end up stabbing you in the back. And it's just sick. So she met him on his show, not her show, his show. MTV reality competition show, Making the Band 3, accused the music mogul of sexual and physical abuse in a lawsuit filed last year. Think about this, guys. All of these women are all claiming sexual abuse, sexual assault. They're all full of shit. At the end of the day, let's just call it what it is. It's a money grab. Everybody do it, bro. It's a trend that is so predictable. You can almost predict everything they're going to say. And they always have a fancy attorney next to them who is greedy, who want money too. It's how they hustle people, man. So she says that she was sexually and physical abuse in a lawsuit filed last year. Her accusations against Combs span the 8 years they worked together. So for 8 years, you're telling me that you were sexually abused and assaulted and all this other mess. It's like all you ladies make the same accusations. You got to come up with something different. Is it always sexual? Like he couldn't have been friendly to you? How come you don't take him to court for that? Oh, Diddy was friendly to me for 8 years. I just can't believe it. No, it's always sexual. This is why, guys, when it comes to dealing with women, the crimes they're going to normally try to get you tied up with is something sexual, because they know that men like women, at least they're supposed to. So keep that in mind when you're out here messing around. They're going to always try to pin you with something with sexual. That's why when you're on the job, they have such thing as sexual harassment. Looking at women with leering looks, all of these type of things, they're going to always use sexual, something sexual. It's never going to be anything else. It will always include sex. The reason why is they look at women as damsels in distress. And they look at men as monsters who can overpower a woman and take what they want and abuse them and coerce them. And this is how they see men. They see us as all animals. They don't see us as human beings that deserve a fair shot. And with all of the accusations against this man and all of these lies, because these are lies, but people believe them because they're women, right? Now imagine if it was just nothing but 20 men coming on saying, yeah, Diddy was sexually assaulting me and he was this and that. It would sound very weird. Even though I'm sure you'll have male witnesses that will come forward saying, yeah, Diddy touched me. Man, stop it, please. This is all hearsay, guys. It says her accusations against Combs spans the 8 years they worked together, which include her time as a member of his group, Diddy Kane, and later in his music trio, Diddy Dirty Money. Let me see what else we got here. Richards also claimed to have witnessed Combs get physically violent with another woman. It's interesting how this woman is seeing Combs being violent towards all of these different women, but never call the cops, never tell anybody. There's no recordings, nothing. See, this is what the government do and the feds. They get these people that have issues with you. They pay them a couple of dollars and they say, look, go up there. You have 100% immunity. You can say whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. We got you. We just need for you to testify. You know, that's what we need. You know, it's crazy. So now it goes on and it says, let's see. All right. Okay, Richards also claimed to have witnessed Combs getting physically violent with other women, including his former partners, Ventura and Kim Porter. I told you they were going to bring Kim Porter up. Now, what exactly are they going to try to say? They're going to say that Diddy killed Kim Porter. Now, you know, on social media, we always talking about how Kim Porter died. It's all alleged. Nobody can prove it. It's all alleged. When we say these things, they're alleged. They're not facts, right? So they're going to say that he was violent towards Kim. They're going to say he was violent towards this one and that one. But nobody's going to talk about if they were violent towards him. Because after all, men are naturally violent, right? We're just animals. We just can't help to be violent towards women all the time. This is what they want us to believe, right? So it says Combs denied the series of false claims in Richards' lawsuit. In a statement provided by his attorney, the statement said that singer is seeking a payday. Conveniently timed and coincide with her album release and press tour. It also note that their continued work together during a 20-year friendship. This is an extortion from a full, wait. I read something wrong there. Not extortion. That's an excerpt. I'm reading something else. Hold on. Wait a minute. Lost the page. Okay. All right. And I got 2 more updates. I'll read those updates later on. Right now, I'm just focused on this stuff here. So, more details. It says more details emerge about the scene of Sean Diddy Combs' arrest. And it's so funny, fam. Like, they're showing sketch art from in the court, right? And they're showing lotion bottles. Now, look, guys. The whole lotion thing was funny when we first started all of this talk, but at this point, this stuff is stupid now. Because last time I checked, a lot of you that were banging out these 304s had KY jelly. Remember that back in the day? You would have your Henny, you would have your bottles of this. Some of you have collections of different things on deck for your own personal freak-offs. So it's like we're adults talking about baby oil now. It don't make no sense, guys. You see? And it's just sick that they're actually talking about baby oil in a court with adults. It makes no sense. But anyway, let me continue reading this. It says, in court on Friday, details emerged about the scene Diddy Combs' arrest last September at a New York hotel. Yasmin Binder, a Department of Homeland Security agent, testified that numerous bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and other lubricants were found during a raid of Combs' suite at Manhattan's Park Hyatt Hotel in September. Agents had seized more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from his homes earlier in the year, according to criminal indictment. Okay. Is it a felony to own 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil? Is that a felony? Does that make any sense? Hold on, let me just pack up these trolls that are in here. They just keep following me around everywhere I go. Is it a crime to have 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil? Is it a felony? Why are we even wasting our time? Lubricants. How many of you ladies have lubricants in your home right now? Is that a crime? Is that a felony? Is that a criminal offense? If I choose to go to the store and buy 1,000 bottles of water, am I guilty of a criminal offense? If I want to have freak-off parties and have people pouring water all over each other, am I guilty of a crime? No activity in the chat. Nobody knows yes or no. You have to learn how to participate, people. Is that a crime? Or maybe you didn't graduate high school. You don't know the difference between a criminal offense when it comes to products that we use every single day. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe people didn't graduate high school, since there's no answers. Let me move on because it seemed like people are inactive. It goes on and it says that they seized 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from his homes earlier this year, according to criminal indictment. Agents additionally found a Louis Vuitton bag with a bottle of medication prescribed to Frank Black and a separate pill bottles, ketamine and MDMA, last week during Cassie Ventura's testimony. Okay, so you found a Louis Vuitton bag. Whoopie-doo. What exactly? I mean, if we were to go to every one of your houses, I'm sure I'm going to find something. I'm sure in every one of your houses right now, if I was to come there and do an investigation and search, I'll find things in there that you don't want me to know about. You know? You know what's so funny about a lot of the people that's coming into the comments, especially you ladies, right? A lot of you ladies been in the strip clubs, you've been in the bars, you hired male prostitutes to dance, you went to strip clubs and put money in men's drawers, you had girls' night out, you went on girls' trips to have your freak-offs. It seems like a lot of you forgot your day. And that's the thing about this case that is so sick, is that all of a sudden in the history of this time, everybody became saints. Everybody became saints overnight. No one have a file. Ladies, could you tell us about your dark nights when you were gargling nut sauce? Could you tell us about those adventures you had of all the different men you dated and the amount of nuts you swallowed? Do you care to come into the court and tell us about those things? Do you care to come into the public and give us testimony of how many men you dated and you were gargling nut sauce? The amount of times your tonsils was twerking. Do you care to talk about that? Do you care to talk about how your legs would snap back when each of those guys were blowing your back out? Do you care to talk about that? Oh, I forgot, you're all virgins, saints. and been in the church your whole life, right? This is why you really can't have conversations with adults, because they act like children all the time. So let's see what else we got. So it says, last week during Cassie Ventura's testimony, the 38-year-old singer said that she and Combs, 55, often use, I guess, some sort of drugs to check into, wait, hold on. They checked into hotels for the drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs. Jackie Starr from Ventura, Frank Black, or Frank White for Combs. So I guess they use those particular names. It says prostitutes were allegedly paid thousands of dollars to participate in the events, according to testimony from Ventura and sex worker Daniel Phillips. So, okay. So they're saying that these particular workers were there and this and that and all this other stuff. Okay. Why the corn industry exists. Why the corn industry exists and how come the corn industry is so popular. They even have an award ceremony for the corn industry. So if him having these prostitutes or whatever you want to call them is such a horrible thing, why the corn industry makes trillions of dollars and the government haven't shut it down yet? Make that make sense. You know, the world we live in is sick. It's a real hypocritical world we live in. Everything else gets a pass, and we focus on one situation as if though, like we're like we have amnesia, like we don't know what's going on. Have you ever been to a strip club and see what goes on? You ever see what these women do for money? I guess it's all illegal, right? Right. Paying for a lap dance, right? Paying for some sexual favors at the telly at the hotels with these women, right? Y'all remember Kevin Samuels? You remember what he used to teach men? That you hire a woman for the night, for the weekend. Rather than making her your woman, you just pay her some money. So that was sex trafficking, right? Do you see my points, guys? And see, this is why they don't like me on social media, because I speak the truth. And I make you see what they don't want you to see. People are being hypocrites, man. And they have selective outrage based on what they feel is wrong. So it goes on and it says, during the September hotel raid, agents also recovered an external hard drive and a black fanny pack containing $9,000 in cash. Who cares? I got hard drives in the house. Who cares? You found $9,000 of cash. Combs he's wealthy. What's the point? Come on now. It's crazy. You ever wonder, guys, how these trolls just keep coming over here like a bunch of damn demons, wasting their time? You guys don't have day jobs? Like, you guys keep coming over here wasting your time. Let me do something real fast, guys. Give me a minute. Deal with these weirdos real fast. Give me a minute, guys. It's a lot of weird people in today's day, man. Weird. Sick people, guys. But when it comes to this case, man, a lot of people, man, they're being deceived. And my job is to cover this case for what it really is. Give me a minute. Let me do some editing real fast. Kind of minimize these trolls a little bit, because they're crazy. These are weirdo people, sick people that are mentally disturbed, right? So now let's do this, right? Okay, trolls, you get to troll every 10 minutes now. Okay. Now, let's get back to the content. The situation right now is that people are being coerced to believe lies. Things that we normally do every day is seen in this case and looked upon as something evil. You all have baby lotion or oil. But now, because Diddy had 1,000 bottles, and it was entertaining and funny at first, but it's starting to sound foolish now. It don't make sense. If he want to have freak off parties, that's his personal business. Last time I checked, if I want to invite 5 women to the house to have freak offs, that's my personal business. How could you look at me and tell me I'm wrong or I'm sex trafficking? Still makes sense. You ever been to a bachelorette party? A bachelor party where dudes hire strippers to come there and dance and twerk and be topless and do sexual favors and various other things? Have they been arrested and charged with sex trafficking and hiring and prostitution and various other things? No. Y'all remember Bill Clinton? Y'all remember Monica Lewinsky, the president of the United States, getting head in the Oval Office? Oh, do I need to remind you that? Was that sex trafficking? See, the white man gets a pass. The white man is able to go out there, fuck whoever he want to fuck, sleep with whoever he want to sleep with, do whatever he want to do, and he gets a pass. But the black man, he's a predator, he's a pedophile, he's an animal, he's all of these different things, but the white man gets a pass. Did they drag Bill Clinton like that? Did they bring him up on charges of sex trafficking, and did they do that to him? No. They didn't do that to him. They had a little fun with him in the media, but what did he do? He got up there and he lied. He said, I never did that. I never did that. He lied. The president of the United States lied. He wasn't a man about it. A real man would have been like, yeah, I got some head in the office, and what? I'm the president. But no, he lied to the American people. So if the president of the United States can lie to the American people about getting some head, please explain to me, do you really trust the government when it comes to telling the truth? The fuck out of here. Y'all sit there and keep believing these people. Y'all sit there and continue believing these people, bro. I don't trust them. I do not trust them, y'all. So let's see what else we got. It says that Combs had been in New York to meet with federal agents about surrendering. He was arrested in the hotel's lobby. See, this goes deeper than just baby oil and Cassie. The situation with Diddy is a real serious case. And a lot of people don't understand how serious this is. You know? Well, they're not going to talk about Diddy charges because the case is not really about that. It's a humiliation ritual. It's about getting as many of us to hate him. See, when I was making previous Diddy videos, I was going in, dragging him based off of just the allegations. But when the trial started and we started to hear what really is going on in terms of Cassie, in terms of these other witnesses, in terms of people just making up stories, I'm like, wait a minute. They really trying to take this man down. Now, excuse me, I don't have to agree with Diddy's business practices, his personal attitude. I don't even think the guy is a good businessman, but at the end of the day, he is very successful. So he got to be doing something right. You can't really hate it. And he's responsible for a lot of music that we listened to back in the day and enjoyed even till today. So at the end of the day, what are they really trying to do to this man? Are they trying to kill him? You know, that's what they're trying to do. Let me continue on. So it says, and they're reporting on different issues regarding the case. It says the line for Sean Diddy Combs' trial this morning was considerably shorter than it was the previous week. Space has been limited in the courtroom since the start of the trial, and even those queuing up before 6:30 a.m. weren't guaranteed spots, ending up instead in overflow rooms where they viewed the trial through a closed circuit video feed with a lot of accompanying chatter. So basically, they said that it wasn't as crowded as before. The reason why is because they only came there to hear Cassie. I told you, when they brought Cassie into court, that was supposed to be done at the end of the trial. They were supposed to bring Cassie in at the end of the trial, but they realized she's due for the baby. She's due to have the baby. So what they had to do, bring her in now to try to shape public opinion, to try to shape the jury's mind. Remember, talking about Cassie at the end is normally the icing on the cake so that everybody could get mad, get emotional, but like, look what they're doing to a pregnant woman, even though she wasn't pregnant during the time. They will look at it as he hurting a pregnant mother. That's what they were hoping for. But because she's having the baby soon, they had no choice but to let her come in now. And that's what they did. And to me, they wasted valuable weaponry. By letting her go take the stand right now was actually a bad move. Because all it did, it helped Diddy's case. Because what it exposed is their desperation in trying to crucify him as a man that was taking advantage of her. Based on all the information that came out about Cassie and Diddy, the text messages, the emails, everything else, Cassie was a willing participant. She enjoyed swallowing nut sauce. She enjoyed goggling balls. She enjoyed these things. She said it in the text messages. She said she loved the freak-offs. She said she couldn't wait to have her legs curled back to take balls deep nut sauce. She enjoyed every bit of it. Do you understand that? So them bringing Cassie onto the stand actually ruined her name, embarrassed her, and embarrassed her husband. That's all a part of the humiliation ritual, right? So now let's continue, because there's a lot of updates and I need to catch up. So I'm gonna try to read fast. Okay. So it says Sean Combs is in the courtroom now as both sides prepare to pick up where they left off Friday. Combs is wearing a honey color sweater and white collared shirt with light pants. He is sitting with his legs crossed as he confers with lead counsel Mark Agniflio, whatever his name is, Brian Steele, he of Young Thug and Pink Water Bottle fame, has pulled up his usual seat to Combs' left. Let me see what else we got here. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, Judge. Richard's Friday testimony permissible. It says Friday ended on a contentious note between prosecution and defense as the sides debated the validity of Dawn Richards' testimony. Richards is a former member of the girl group Dante Kane, which was formed by the reality TV show hosted by Sean Diddy Combs, making the band. Richard also worked with Combs and singer Kalina Harper as part of the trio Diddy Dirty Money. On Friday afternoon, the defense objected to Richard's testimony that after witnessing Combs attack ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura with a frying pan, Combs called a meeting with her and Harper to warn them to stay silent. Judge Arun Subramanian issued a series of tentative rulings Monday on this and other matters. He found Richard's testimony permissible, but ruled against the prosecution of other proposed testimony, saying it amounted to little more than hearsay. So even the judge recognized that a lot of the testimony from this woman is just hearsay. You understand? And that's how it is in social media. It's hearsay. It's not actual factual information that we could use. And the judges have it enough. It's like, come on, you're just running your mouth saying stuff, but there's no back end to this. There's no validity to this. It's like you're just wasting the court's time. So the judge expressed concerns that this kind of testimony would amount to a case built on gossip. And that's exactly what the case is all about. It's a case built on gossip, as opposed to what witnesses actually saw or did. The judge is saying this, guys. The judge realized that what's going on right now in the court with this woman is gossip. It's not nothing that you actually saw and did. You know? Shout out to Canada. Appreciate you stopping by. You know, shout out to those in Canada that might be tuning in. Right? So I'm glad the judge realized that. I like that. The judge expressed concerns that this kind of testimony would amount to a case built on gossip, as opposed to what witnesses actually saw or did. These rulings are still tentative, though, and the judge is currently hearing additional arguments from both sides before making his final decisions. All right? So, damn, them updates are coming in, man. I got to catch up, guys. I got to really catch up. I'm way behind. I'm going to try to just read more faster and, well, I can't even say. I'll just flow with the flow, man. I'll just go with the flow. We got all day. I don't got nothing to do. I'm at work. So it goes on and it says, let's see. As the prosecution is furthering its arguments regarding relevant testimony, Sean Combs' attorney, Tenny Garagas, has been whispering in Combs' ear. Combs has been a very engaged defendant over the past 2 weeks, frequently conferring with his attorneys during trial proceedings. Flanked by U.S. Marshals, Combs has been coming to court with an accordion briefcase, which he unpacks when he first gets to the defense bench. The contents include a bright blue spiral notebook on which Combs has been jotting notes. All right, so they're telling us about the things that he's doing while in the court. Another update says the jury is back in the box and Dawn Richards, is back on the stand. Richards, who wore a menswear-inspired suit Friday, is in a similar outfit Monday, a striped-down blazer over a gray vest, a white button-up with striped trousers, her long black hair weave. Long black hair is worn down in waves. Who cares about what she's wearing? I don't give a fuck about what she's wearing. Could we get to what Diddy actually did? All of this stalling and playing and reporting on stupid stuff, it makes no sense. I don't care about what she was wearing. I don't care about her suit, her long weave. None of that stuff is evidence of guilt, of what a man did that is a crime. Like, come on now, get to the charges and let's prove this thing already. And this is what I'm saying. Again, make sure you hit that like button, guys. It's very important that you do that. Okay, so another update came in. Assistant U.S. Attorney Metzi Steiner is asking Sena Dawn Richards about instances of violence she observed involving Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura between 2009 and 2011. That's the time period when Richards was performing with Combs as part of the trio Diddy Dirty Money. Richard testified that she frequently saw Combs be violent with Ventura. He would punch her, choke her, drag her, slap her in the mouth. Richard said, I saw him kick her, punch her in the stomach. Now, why she said punch her in the stomach? And why stomach? Stomach is subliminal of a metaphor and phrase used to cause the jurors to remember that Cassie is pregnant. So now when you hear punch her in the stomach, you're thinking of a pregnant woman who was just talking about her ordeals with Diddy, which then further make the jurors hate Diddy. You see how that work? Punch her in the stomach. You see how that go? Why the stomach? And why there's no arrest records? Why there's no police calls? If you're watching this, why you ain't do nothing, Miss Dawn? Why? Yeah, they're saying that because she's pregnant. They want the viewers and the people to believe that he would do this to a pregnant woman. That's how much of a monster he is, allegedly. You know? But my thing is this. If Dawn Richards saw all of this, why she ain't do nothing? Why she ain't call the authorities? Why she ain't report this to social media? Why she ain't say something? Why she ain't do nothing? Why she ain't do nothing? Because you know women, if a woman see another woman being violated by a man, she's going to say something. I've seen women step in men's faces, even at the point of possibly getting slapped around by the man, and she got in his face and was like, you ain't putting your hands on her no more. I'm calling the cops. So how come Dawn didn't do nothing if Dawn saw all of this? You know? Let me see what you said. Hold on, where the comment at? He says they are going to say she was scared. That's why she didn't say anything. And that's typical of what they do. And it's not cool because what they're saying is that women are weak and that you're really not equal to a man because you're really not. But this is what they say in America. They say women and men are equal, which is bullshit at the end of the day. But they're going to always use the term of she was afraid, he could destroy her career. Just a lot of stupid stuff. I'm tired of this type of garbage, bro. It don't even make no sense. You know? Let me see. Shout out to Integrity, Loyalty for the 10. Hold on a second. Why this thing not working? Okay. He says if Diddy walk, he can sue Cassie. I don't think he will if he walk. I think he just want his life back. Sometimes when you get off of these type of cases, you're drained from being in court. They did the same thing to Bill Cosby. They did this to Michael Jackson. They bring you to court. They embarrass you in the media. It's a ritual. And they humiliate you and they drain your resources. Think about how many millions Diddy already done lost in this particular case. Think about how much his attorneys are being paid. He already paid Cassie $20 million. You know, then he got to pay his attorneys. Then he's losing deals. He's losing sponsorships. He's losing advertisement. He's losing all different types of money. So he's losing millions of dollars, guys. They pulled his music from the playlists of various stations. He's losing money. Remember, when the music plays, SoundScan and various other things, you're able to make money. So he's losing money on all fronts. He's losing millions of dollars, guys. Millions of dollars is being lost. But I don't believe he would even waste his time trying to sue her. I think that what's going to happen is if he walks, Cassie is forever destroyed because now it's very clear that nobody paid her no mind. So it says Dawn Richards is now under cross-examination by Sean Combs' lawyer, Nicole. So she's cross-examining her right now. There's about 7 new updates. I'm literally an hour behind on the updates, but I'll catch up shortly. It says Richards testified she saw Diddy physically assault Cassie multiple times. Do you see how we're still talking about Cassie? We're not even talking about the charges against Diddy. We're still talking about Cassie. They're wasting taxpayer dollars. They're wasting everybody's time. This is like one big circus. When are we going to get to the criminal charges? Why don't they just prove it? We're still talking about what somebody saw. So it goes on and says, so far Monday morning, Dawn Richards has described 2 more instances of Sean Combs allegedly, which means it's not factual, it's alleged, allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. One incident took place at a Central Park concert when Richards said she saw Combs punch Ventura in the face with a closed fist. Okay, so you saw him do that, but you didn't call the cops? You saw a grown man punch a woman in the face with a closed fist and you didn't call the cops to protect that woman? I would throw her out the courtroom at that point. Why am I even listening to this woman's testimony? Because she saw this, but didn't do nothing about it? Didn't say nothing to nobody? And you mean to tell me that he did this at a concert? Come on, man, please stop. Listen, they just keep lying all the time, guys. So it says that he's seen him do that with a closed fist. Another one took place in 2010 in West Hollywood. Now keep in mind, guys, this woman is testifying that she's seen all of these different occasions of Diddy beating Cassie. Because what they're trying to prove is that he has a pattern of beating Cassie. But at no point did this woman ever notify law enforcement, never called or reported this to the media, nothing. And people taking this serious? Another one took place in 2010 in West Hollywood at a restaurant where Combs, Ventura, and other Bad Boys employees and celebrities were present, Richard said. Richard described seeing Combs punch Ventura in the stomach. Ventura immediately bent over, Richard said, and she saw Combs motion Ventura to leave. So you saw that, but you didn't do nothing about it. You saw that, but you didn't go over and console Ventura. You didn't call Ventura to tell her, hey, you okay? Blah, 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 like nothing. This don't make no sense, guys. And to anybody hitting me up on Instagram, understand I am live. I'm not checking no Instagram. I'm not checking nothing, right? I'm driving the car. That's why when you're driving, you're not supposed to be talking and looking elsewhere and doing other stuff. That's how you crash, right? So don't be a distraction while I'm live. So it goes on and it says later, Richard said while riding in a BMW Sprinter van with Ventura and Combs, she saw Combs grab Ventura around the neck, smack her in the mouth, and tell her to shut the F up. So it's interesting how you're seeing all of this, but you're not saying that. But in 2025, all of a sudden, and you're the same woman who filed a previous lawsuit against Diddy, now all of a sudden you're testifying. All I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is just a lot of bitter people that are mad because their careers fell apart, they're broke, they're not happy with themselves, and they're all vindictive and angry. And the government got all of them up, paid them a few dollars to come to court. That's what I see. It goes on and it says, during government questioning, Dawn Richards said the reason Sean Combs allegedly assaulted Cassie Ventura varied. It could be Cass speaking up for herself, Richards said. So she's given her hearsay. She's given her opinion. None of this stuff is factual. None of it is factual, guys. Again, during government questioning, Dawn said the reason The reasons Sean Combs allegedly assaulted Cassie Ventura varied. It could be because Cass was speaking up for herself, Richard said. It could be random. It could be her having an opinion. Why are we listening to that garbage? When are we going to get to the criminal charges that Diddy is accused of? When are we going to get to that? And this is why, as viewers, be very careful of content creators. There's this one woman. Man, this woman is a damn demon, bro. I was just watching a video with, what's this brother's name? Mr. Let Go. I'm not sure what's his username. Mr. something Let Go or something. He was just live talking about some Tissa Tells or whatever her name is. That woman is a straight demon, bro. If you're a person who view that woman, you're watching the devil, bro. That woman hate men, bro, with a passion. I don't know what her issue is. I don't know what kind of reporting she does, but her reporting is devilish, bro. She's damn evil, bro. I've never seen, listen, Shira 7 is toxic, and I believe that she's leading a lot of women to hell. But in comparison to whatever that Tissa Tell, whatever her, that woman's a devil. She's a demon. I can't even stomach her videos, bro. Especially with how she's covering this Diddy case. Absolutely disgusting. She's 100% biased. And when you're reporting on a story, you can't be biased or partial in judgment. That's why when you look at me doing this content, I'm fair and I'm balanced. I'm only going by the facts. I don't want to hear about what somebody's opinion is. I want to hear about the facts. That's it. Let's focus on the facts. I don't want to hear about Diddy oil or none of this stupid stuff. I want to hear about real information that can prove that this man committed crimes that he deserved to go to prison for. Because if he loses this case, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. If he loses this case, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Think about that. The rest of his life in prison, guys. And people are happy about it. I've seen people literally say that they're happy and they will be happy if he spend the rest of his life in prison. That's sick, man. Absolutely sick, man. But anyway, let's see what we got. So it says, Richard named other Combs employees who allegedly witnessed this violence, including former Bad Boy exec Harv Pierce, assistants Capricorn Clark, and Maya. Oh, they threw Maya in there? Unless that's a different Maya. Another alleged victim of Combs, who is expected to testify, as well as security staffers D-Rock and Raja Bonds. So now they're naming names. They got 8 new updates, but I haven't caught up yet. I'm about 1 hour behind. I'm gonna catch up. Okay, so where we at? All right. So it says, Nicole Westmoreland, who is leading the defense cross-examination of Dawn Richard, joined Sean Combs' team as jury selection began this month, a black female attorney. Westmoreland fills a demographic Combs was reportedly seeking to include on his legal team, since is also a sexual assault survivor. So she's also a sexual assault survivor. So he figure if he put a woman who's a sexual assault survivor as an attorney, he'll have a better shake on the trial. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. They said this trial is expected to last 8 weeks. The trial is expected to last 8 weeks. Combs also faces more than 70 civil complaints, including one by Richard. He has denied all allegations against him. And I believe that if this man get off, it's going to shock a lot of people that he actually got off in this particular situation. You know, he's going to really get off on this one. And it's going to absolutely upset a lot of people because people are hoping and banking on him going to prison for the rest of his life. They really are. So let's see what else we got here. Dawn Richards testifies about physical abuse in Sean Combs' sex trafficking case. The second week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial is expected to bring forth more government witnesses. Now notice, these are government witnesses. These are people that the government select to do the dirt. And trust me, they all got paid. They all got paid. One thing the government don't like, and this is something that our people must understand, nobody likes seeing a black man with money. Let me say that again. No one likes seeing a black man with money. You can hate Diddy, you can hate his business practices, but one thing you folks that look like me better understand, they don't like when you, as a black man or woman, have money. They don't like that. So now, let's see what else we got. The second week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial expected to bring forth more government witnesses, including the return of Danette Kane singer Dawn Richard to the stand. On Friday, Richard recalled a 2009 episode in which, you see how they keep replaying the same thing? We already read about that. She's still talking about alleged attack on Cassie again from Diddy with a frying pan. We seen people get hit with frying pans and chairs at McDonald's. We seen fights at Chuck E. Cheese. We don't see them things go to trial. Come on, man. This is dumb stuff, man. Get to the actual criminal situation so that we can wrap up this case and go on with our lives, because at this point they're just bringing out a bunch of stuff to make us be distracted, right? Shout out to Rollo for the support. He says, you speak in fair and balance on the case, and the money part speaks volumes. And that's all I'm trying to do is focus on being fair and balanced, not looking at this or that, because people think I'm defending Diddy. Listen, I'm here to defend the truth, because a lot of you folks that are listening, you just want to see a black man die in prison. That's what you want to see. You don't see them doing this to white men. They do this to black men all the time. I did a video last night with R. Kelly. Where is everybody? I did a brilliant video last night. The live stream that I did last night with Kelly, monumental, because I broke down every single thing regarding that case. They put an innocent man behind bars. I broke down everything regarding that case, showing the people that the women that he was with, they set him up. Did him dirty, man. And Gayle King is the devil. That's a wicked ass woman, bro. That is a wicked woman. Gayle King is the devil, bro. And there's a lot of people just like her in the media. And if you notice, who do they normally send to hang their own people? Another black person. So when you see Gayle, that's a coon. That's a Sambo, because she's buck dancing for them other folk. And she did what she had to do to make Kelly break down. And we laughed at Kelly when he had that emotional moment. We thought it was funny. But that's a black man that is literally dying in prison, struggling, while a lot of us out here are laughing and mocking, not realizing same thing can happen to you. And you know why? Because we don't stay on code. I got black people on social media that want to see me die. And they're black. So who's my real enemy? My own people. So if my own people is my enemy, I don't trust nobody after that. Because I see what's going on and how we do our own. We crucify our own. We put our own down. It's one thing if a man is guilty of a crime and he's convicted and we have the evidence to prove that he did such a crime, then he deserved time in prison. I don't believe in having wicked men or wicked women freed from prison. Like the so-called Carmelo Anthony, he's supposed to go to prison for life because he stabbed that young boy in the heart. That was not self-defense. He's a murderer. And just because he's black doesn't mean I'm gonna defend his ass. He belongs in prison. But what did you so-called ninjas do? You gave him a whole bunch of money and you're literally claiming that he's a good old boy who goes to work and he murdered someone. Did R. Kelly murder someone? No, he ain't do anything. But y'all put him behind bars off of allegations. Sick people, man. When brothers come out of prison, what do the black community do? Celebrate. Free my man so-and-so. He's a thug and a gangster. You telling everybody to free him? You celebrate black men when they go to prison and come out of prison like they just got a college degree. This is what you do. Sick, man. So, it goes on and it says, where we at? Okay. On Friday, Richards recalled a 2009 episode in the Combs allegedly attacked his ex, Cassie Ventura, with a frying pan while she was making eggs. So he attacked her with a frying pan while she was making eggs. Now, what does this do? It paints a picture of a hot frying pan. Because if she was frying eggs, then that means he had to lift up the frying pan. Why would he do that? Why would he hit her with a frying pan while she's making eggs? So she's making breakfast, so that had to be early in the morning. And this other woman was there watching. And everybody believed it. Ventura had already spent 4 grueling days detailing the drug and sex-fueled freak-offs that she loved, mind you, with male prostitutes. Okay, so if Cassie Ventura was involved in freak-offs with male prostitutes and she claims that she was raped by Diddy, why we're not bringing in these prostitutes and charging them with rape if they participated in the freak-offs against a woman against her will? Why we're not doing that, guys? Why we're not bringing the strippers in and charging them with rape? If I raped a woman, have her tied up in my house, and invite 5 of my buddies and say, hey, go in there, get some head, pee on her face, do what you want, and then I get arrested, don't you think they're gonna call me in and then call in the people who also violated the woman? So why are they not doing that in this case? Why are the prostitute males being ignored as if though they're innocent? Well, we were just doing our job. No, you're guilty. If I rob a bank and I walk into a bank, pull out a gun, point it at the clerk, hand me the money, and I see 3 of my buddies in the car, I'm like, yo, come in here. And they put guns at people's heads and children's heads, and they're all caught on camera. You think they're just gonna charge me? They're charging everybody, guys. If men violated Cassie, all of the men involved are guilty of raping her, regardless of how you feel. You can't say, well, I was a hired prostitute, I was just doing my job. No, you violated a woman. It was against her will. She didn't want to do it. You peeing on her face, sir, is a criminal offense. You're being charged. How come they're not doing that? All I'm doing is using logic, ladies and gentlemen. Something that people are not using when it comes to this case. They're not using logic. Nobody's being logical. Anybody that was involved in the freak-offs is supposed to be arrested. If we're gonna really get deep, everybody that's in this trial, that was at the freak-offs, supposed to be brought to justice. Everybody. You know? See what we got. I gotta catch up, man. It's like 9 updates, bro. I'm way behind. Let me see. So, it goes on and it says, Ventura had already spent 4 grueling, wait, we read that already, right? Well, let's read it again. Ventura had already spent 4 grueling days detailing the drug and sex-fueled freak-offs with multiple prostitutes that are the heart of his trial. Combs, 55, is facing 5 criminal charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The music mogul has pleaded not guilty. There's a demon fly literally on my laptop. And for those that don't know, demons can occupy flies. It's literally right there. You see that? You see how it's not even moving? That's a demon. Because it won't move. That's a demon right there. So if you ever wonder where you're in your house or your car and there's a fly, you kill it, and then another fly comes. You kill it, and then another fly comes. That's a spirit. Because it's literally right here, just flying and going crazy right in front of me. That means that somebody, a witch or a warlock, sent their demon to come be a distraction. Hold on a second. Let me do this real fast. I hope nobody's texting me while I'm live because people are weird. Okay. So, it says Ventura, 38, said she was coerced into organizing and participating in these events. That's a lie. This damn fly, bro. Literally, it's still bugging me. She's claimed she was coerced to participate in the freak-offs. Y'all saw the text messages that I showed y'all. She was a willing participant. She wasn't coerced. She said she loved to lick the balls from the back all the way to the head and then make the rod disappear so that she could choke and have her tonsils twerk. That's what she said, guys. So let's see what else we got. She says she was coerced. She says in 2016, she says she was beaten while trying to flee the site of a freak-off at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. Video of the beating was first released by CNN last year. See how they're talking about the beating now? They're still talking about Cassie, guys. They still talking about the beating. Guys, listen, you want me to be honest with you? Y'all gonna get mad, but I don't care. Y'all ready for this? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this one. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this one. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for the truth. Cassie wasn't beaten, man. The fuck out of here. The Diddy video that was in the hallway wasn't shit. Yeah, I said it. I played that video so many times. Guys, that woman was not beat. She was dragged, a little duffel kick with a man with some socks on. What injury did she have? Chris Brown beat Rihanna. She got beat up. Chris Brown beat up Rihanna, guys. They still talking about this hallway beating. These damn bugs are literally flying all over here, bro. Like, this is crazy shit, bro. When I tell you guys, I really believe what I believe, man. When you are seriously doing work, demons, devils, warlocks, and witches really do hover around you. If it's not people being distractions, if it's not people doing a bunch of weirdo shit, because it normally happens when I come out to do a tape, and I really don't care what people do in the public, because that's public, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like people got to stop, do shit when they're around me. But it normally happens when I'm doing work. Normally, all the time. It's like I attract this energy. It's weird. Let me see. Yeah, the video with the Cassie beating, what's in the beating? They keep forcing it in our faces as she was beat, trying to convince us that she was brutally beaten. Woman was not brutally beaten. She was dragged and she was kicked, and he ain't have no boots on. So that kick was not a kick of, oh, I'm in pain, he kicked me with combat boots and stomped my head out. Please. That video was bull crap, bro. I'm just calling it what it is, guys. I'm being as fair as I can. Is it right what he did? Of course not. But was she beaten to a pulp? No. But this is what we keep talking about. But the way Rihanna looked after Chris Brown dealt with her, that was crazy. You got little lizards and geckos walking on the yard. Like, what the hell is going on, bro? Like, literally, if I show you this mess, you'll be like, what? I don't even know if I could. I'm not even gonna waste my time showing you, bro. Like, literally right there, bro. And then the fly keep flying on my hand every 10 seconds. You got a little gecko right in front of me over here, bro. It's crazy. Let me see. I don't know if you could see. I don't know if you could see it, but who cares? The bug is literally in my ear flying. Do you see him on the camera? That's not normal, guys. When you see weird stuff like that, all right, put a 1 in the chat if you have ever watched a horror film and anytime there's evil, you see a bunch of flies and bugs. Put a 1 in the chat. Like, anytime there's a horror film with evil and they always showing you some weird stuff, you see a bunch of flies, weird insects going crazy. And it's like they always show you this in movies. It's because it's spiritual, it's real. Demons, entities take over insects and they annoy you. They become pests. That's why it's called pest control. When you have a house, you have to have pest control with bugs, rats, mice, because they're designed to annoy you. Sometimes people can be pests and have demons in them, and they do weirdo stuff. And you're like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? They're doing stupid stuff in front of me. And it's like, what's going on with them? They got a devil in them. You know? Yeah, distractions. Because you see, I'm trying to focus on this, but yet I'm being distracted. But even if I'm being distracted, I'm using it as a educational moment. Yeah, creepy crawlers too, all of it. So let's get back to the content, because the demons and entities can only do it but for so long. After a while, after you endure affliction, then they got to go away. So it says Ventura 38 said she was coerced into organizing and participating in these events. In 2016, she said she was beaten while trying to flee sight of a freak-off. At an intercontinental hotel, video of the beating was first released by CNN last year. She also alleged that Combs threatened to release sex tapes as a form of blackmail. That's what she said. Look at this, guys. You see that? That's a demon. That's a demon. I just wanted to show you in real time, because normally a fly don't do that. Those are spirits. And a lot of times you have people that be around you that are just like that. Sometimes you gotta ignore them because they really are pests. Let's get back to the content. Okay. Damn, they got 11 updates, man. 11 updates. Hold on. Hold on, I had refreshed the page. It's a lot of updates, man. And you're gonna start to notice weird stuff as I continue. Weird. Trust me. Okay. All right, we read that. We read that. Let's see. Now, what is my wife doing? Better not do no goofy stuff right now. Remember I told you you're gonna see some weird stuff, right? As soon as I said that, she pull up. Let's see if she's the one the devil gonna use. Because so far for this whole morning, there's been a lot of weirdo shit going on. Let me find my place. Huh? If I got what? What? You see what I'm doing here? You asking me that now? You see what I'm doing? Okay, don't waste my time right now. Don't waste my time right now. Remember I just told you guys some weirdo shit gonna happen? And you see what I'm dealing with? The distractions. I'm live. And she's basically asking me something that requires me to get up to go do something. This is real life shit, bro. Distractions can come from anybody. Your family, your job, co-workers, anybody can be used. How many times have you been in situations where you're doing something and somebody just totally distracts you? And you're trying to do something and it just comes out of nowhere. Isn't that amazing? I just told you folks, something weird is coming. And it happened exactly as I said it. It starts off with bugs, insects, then the wife. And this is all on live. And now they want me to take care of something else. So that means I gotta stop what I'm doing. I gotta literally stop what I'm doing to go find out what she's dealing with. So now, I want you guys to give me a minute because I gotta deal with this bullshit, bro. And this is real life. Make sure you tune into the reality show when we drop it. So just stay right there, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta handle some bullshit. You know what's so interesting? Is my mic on? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. You can hear? You know what's so interesting? I just told you guys that these demons, devils, warlocks, and nonsense is going on, and how distractions are all around, and how something's going to distract. Then the wife pulls up and distract my shit. And then I had to go in the house, set order, do what I need to do. And you know what I got from all of that? That's exactly what Diddy did with Cassie. Because he was in a relationship with Cassie. And when a man and a woman is in a relationship, mind your fucking business. Mind your business. Because things happen and dudes set order. But women always see what they want to see, hear what they want to hear. It's just like people will see these interactions and they'll be like, well, what's going on? What's happening? What did you do? What's happening? And then they'll go and say, well, he did this, he did that. And then the gossip start, the rumors start. And all of a sudden, when a man and a woman interact, mind your damn business. Mind your business. Because what happens is you get involved and you don't even know what's going on, but you start running your mouth based on their own personal business. It's their business. Stay out of the way. You understand? That's what that so-called Dawn Richards was seeing. She saw what she want to see. That doesn't necessarily mean that Diddy did something according to what she said. It doesn't mean that. He was checking Cassie for something. And for whatever reason, they spent it as if though, oh, he's beating her up and choking her and doing this and doing all this other shit. Man, I don't want to hear that garbage. That was just a man doing what a man does. That was a man doing what a man is supposed to do. But too many of you brothers are damn near cowards and you act like women, and then people see it from afar and then they start to judge you. A man is not even allowed to be a man. When something is out of pocket as a man, you check it at the gate, at the door. You don't sit there and just tolerate bullshit. It's like if I'm live right now and my kids start acting up, I'm checking them right on the live. Wife acting up, I'm checking every fucking body because I'm working. Don't distract me. So in the case with Diddy, he's looking at the situation like, hold up, I'm telling you to do this and that, and you bugging out, tweaking. You can't be doing that mess. Dawn saw that from the side, saw what Diddy was doing, and looked at it as, oh, he's abusing her, he's doing this. When your boss see you acting the fool on the job and he check your ass, is he abusing you? If he call you in the office and reprimand you for what you just did, is he abusing you? No. He's the leader or she's the leader, depending on who's the management and who's the supervisor. You got to answer to them. The problem is, in relationships, a lot of dudes don't lead shit. And a lot of women who don't have a man don't even understand leadership. So when a man does set order, they look at everything as abuse. He's abusing me. He's this. He's violent. He's a this. Look at all the black men that are on trial right now. All of them are looked upon as abusive. All of them are looked upon as, oh, they're taking advantage of women. They're controlling. So all these men are the same, and it's all black men. So how do white men handle their women? How do white men govern their houses? Do they sit around like a bitch and just let their woman just do what the fuck she want to do? Disrespect him, act a fool, do things out of pocket, and he just sit there like an idiot? No. He sets order too. It's just that nobody talks about it. Everybody see what Diddy does with all the women he with, but nobody ain't minding their damn business. Make it make sense. The moral of the story is mind your damn business. Because when you in your house with your woman, y'all talk y'all shit, y'all do y'all shit, y'all have y'all arguments, y'all do all that mess. And nobody knows about it because it's your business. Diddy had his, but unfortunately, everybody was monitoring his life, taking notes, writing receipts, so that they can crucify him later on. You know? I heard about that. I heard that she used to mess around with Ryan Leslie. Isn't that producer? Isn't he a producer? Ryan Leslie? Isn't he a producer? Yes or no? Isn't Ryan Leslie a producer? Okay. A music producer. Okay. I heard about that a while ago, that he's a music producer. So you said, hold on. Cassie left Ryan Leslie to play with Puff Daddy. Head manipulated them for a lifestyle, and punk him off and tried to be famous. It's sad, man. I'm trying to keep everything real for you guys, man. Ladies, when your man is working, stay the fuck out the way. Listen to me very carefully and take notes. When a man is working, don't fucking bother him. Keeping everything a beam, because a lot of disrespect happens and you don't know what that does and how that affect business. Stay the fuck out the way, especially if you got kids. Keep your kids at bay. Don't let them get in the way when a man is at work. Don't do that goofy shit, right? Because what you're doing is you're being used by the devil. And the thing is, guys, any of us could be used by the devil. No one is exempt from being used by the devil. Sometimes we do things out of selfishness and we're not considerate of other people and what they're doing. You know? If I see, let's say, if I see you in front of your house with cameras, lighting, and you're filming, and I see you talking to a camera, I'm not gonna walk by and say, "Hey, Johnny, how you doing this weekend?" I'm not gonna do that. You know why? Because I know you are working. I'm gonna wait till I catch you on the rebound when you're not filming. Because if I see you with a camera and you're doing what you're doing, you're working. So I'm not gonna interrupt you. It's facts. I'm the realest there is, guys. Nobody else is as real as me. All these other guys are bitches. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being real. Everybody else is fake. Let's see what we got. So let's get back to the content. Where we were. Because when I updated the screen, it just threw me off base, man. Let's see, 2 hours. Okay, let me find my place, guys. Defense attorney, Dawn. Nope, not that. Let me look at this. Did they delete stuff? But you see what distraction does, bro? Do you see how distractions, how it affects your life? You don't see that? You don't see how we literally were on our flow, doing what we had to do. And then how all these distractions just came in and just threw me off my fucking work. You don't see how that is, fam? Shit pissed me the fuck off, bro. And that's exactly how Diddy was when he was with Cassie. Which is what happens in every relationship. A man be doing something, woman comes in, fuck up everything that he's doing. He checks whatever the situation, tell her about herself because he's working. And that's the same exact thing. Now that I see it, that's exactly what happened with the situation with Cassie and Diddy, bro. He was trying to do something happened, and then somebody overlooked it from the side and began to judge. Well, look at this. He's abusive. He's a this. Man, people can say whatever they want. That's why you're not supposed to live for people. Fuck everybody else, bro. At the end of the day, if you don't live in my house, fuck you. I don't care how you feel or what you have to say. Because you don't live with me. And you don't know me. And you don't understand context or anything. And this is why there's allegations and gossip and hearsay. People are always worried about another person's life and another person's house. We don't judge ourselves. We don't judge ourselves. Right? Right. Let me see. I'm just gonna try to read from where I left because I done lost my place, guys. I done lost where I was at. All of these fucking distractions done threw off my entire flow. Literally. Totally fucked up what I'm doing here. Because I'm trying to read this thing in chronological order so that we can get all of the updates properly. But when you have demons that literally are distracting you left and right, it's just weird. Some people got to really think before they do what they do, guys. Let's just start from here. Defense calls out inconsistencies in Richard's testimony. Sean Combs' attorney... Wait, I think we read this, right? No, we didn't read this. Sean Combs' attorney, Nicole, has been grilling former Bad Boy artist Dawn Richard about various recollections, asking her why her testimony doesn't completely match statements she gave the government or included in her own lawsuit against Combs, which she's filed in September. Westmoreland pointed out that Richard didn't tell the government about the handguns Richard said she saw in Combs' possession. She wasn't asked, Richard explained. Another alleged incident of Combs being violent towards Ventura that was included in Richard's lawsuit, but not mentioned during Richard's testimony, was a misquote from her lawyer. Richard said Witherspoon is also asking Richard to revisit her previous testimony and interviews about Combs' drug use. Richard said on the stand that she has seen Combs do cocaine. She previously told investigators she hadn't seen that. So right there, she's not a credible witness. Because why? She said in one time she saw Diddy using cocaine, but she previously told investigators she hadn't seen that. You see that? So as we do our investigation on this case, Dawn Richards is not a credible witness, and nobody should take her serious. She's just another opportunist who failed in her lawsuit against Diddy. This is why when we do this content, I try to be as fair and balanced, minus all the damn distractions that try to throw us off. Because when we do our reporting of the case, we're the best in the game regarding this situation. Everybody else is just playing games with you to get a click and a view. They're not giving a good they're not making valid points regarding the situation. So it says different accounts from Diddy's Dirty Money trio. It says, something may come up as the trial progresses. Dawn has testified that other witnesses, Sean Combs alleged assaults on Cassie Ventura. In 3 incidents she described on the stand, Richards said she was with Kalina Harper, who also was in the group Diddy Dirty Money, along with her and Combs. Harper, though, has denied ever witnessing Combs being abusive. See, that person never witnessed that. It says last September, after Richards filed a lawsuit against Combs, Harper posted on her Instagram account, "While I fully respect Dawn's right to recount her experiences, I want to emphasize that her account reflects her personal perspective and should not be interpreted as a universal truth applicable to everyone's involved." In other words, she's saying, look, she's out there testifying, talking about what she's seen. I ain't see shit. I don't know what she's talking about. That's what she's basically saying. And she put that in the public. Like, look, in other words, that's like, if I'm running my platform and I invite you as a guest on my platform, before I let you speak, I'll have a disclaimer. Hey, such and such and such of the such and such channel, my guest's views is not a representation of the views of my platform. That's to protect me from any sort of lawsuits or any sort of nonsense from anybody else that may say I was involved in slandering their name or whatever the case is. I'm protected. That's basically what she did on her social media page. You know? So it says, defense attempts paint Richard as unreliable witness. And she's an unreliable witness. I don't even know why they have her in the court. They should throw her out because she lied. She said that he did cocaine. Then she said he didn't. So which one is it? She's saying that he did cocaine, and now she's saying that he didn't. Which one is it? So Cassie's a liar. Miss Richards is a liar too. You got 2 scorned women that are both lying on the case. And the government chose them to be these witnesses. It says Sean Combs' defense is trying to depict singer Dawn Richard as a witness who is loose with details about physical violence and said she witnessed roughly 15 years ago in various accounts she has given over the years. At this point, you would agree with me. We have several story changes, Combs' lawyer Nicole asked Richard, the former Bad Boys Records employee who prohibited from responding to the question after a sustained objection. Richard testified at the trial that she witnessed Combs physically abusing his girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Why are we still talking about Cassie Ventura? She received $20 million from Diddy. She filed a lawsuit and she received a $20 million settlement. Case closed. We don't need to hear about her no more. I don't give a damn about her hotel beating. I don't care about freak-offs. She was a damn 304 the whole time. We saw the text messages. She was a consenting adult. She was of age. She knew what she was doing. Let's stop playing games. Let's stop talking about a woman that received $20 million, guys. Let's get to the case and let's find out what are the charges. A man is about to spend his life in prison and nobody is talking about the real case. We're still talking about Cassie Ventura. I don't care about this damn woman. She's a 304. And she's pregnant with another loser's baby. And the whole time, the trainer was with Diddy. He was watching Cassie the whole time. Which means he had a sexual attraction for Cassie while he was working with Diddy. No different than you could be a dude and you have friends and the whole time they watching your woman. The whole time you bringing buddy over your house, playing video games and watching football, and your wife is walking around the house, he looking at your woman. You have a lot of dudes like that. They watch your wife. You know? It is what it is, man. So let's see what else we got. Okay. Where we at? Where we at? Richard testified at the trial that she witnessed Combs physically abusing his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. In the defense, if the defense succeeds at chipping away at Richard's reliability, the jury could discredit what she has to say about alleged past events. And that's exactly what they're going to do, because she's not a credible witness, you know? Richard's accounts are being offered by the prosecution to try to corroborate aspects of Ventura's testimony last week. They're trying to connect Dawn's testimony to Cassie's to help it stick together. But that is not what he's on trial for. So why are we still talking about this? They're wasting everybody's time. Westmoreland, excuse me. Westmoreland suggests that key components of Richard's testimony were omitted from at least some of Richard's interviews with prosecutors as they prepared the case. Richard may not have mentioned at points things she said at trial, that she saw Combs carrying a handgun and doing cocaine. Richard has a pending lawsuit against Combs, a fact that defense is using to try to show she has a motive to lie about her former employer. Which proved that you guys that are on the 9-to-5 have to be very careful with the women you work with. Imagine, Diddy is her former employer, and she's doing this to him. People always bite the hand that feed them. They always do. It goes on and it says, over the past week, Sean Combs' 3 sons, Justin Combs, Christian King, Combs, and Quincy Brown, were a constant presence in court, sitting in the second row behind their father's bench, alongside their grandmother, Janice Combs, Combs' mother. Monday morning, though, the row was uncharacteristically sparse, with Combs' children and mom appearing to be absent. So they were absent? I don't know. Let's see. Defense concludes cross-examination of Richards. It says, at the end of cross-examination, Dawn Richards' defense attorney, Nicole Westmoreland, seemed to imply a possible motivation for Richards' testimony against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as filing a lawsuit against him. Bitterness. Westmoreland asked about Richards' attempts to work with Combs after she left Bad Boy. She asked Richards if she was upset about not being signed as a solo artist to the label. Richard responded that she didn't care about that. See, the truth is she was bitter the whole time. She ain't get no record deal. She ain't get nothing. So she's just another angry customer that is mad and trying to get an easy payday. This is why it's very difficult for me to work with people, because I don't trust human beings. I really don't trust these creatures, because they're always trying to sue you, drag you into court, and do some sort of bullshit. And this is why I literally just like to roll solo. I don't like working with nobody. I don't trust people, especially in business. I just don't trust nobody, guys. When you try to work with people, this is what always happens, especially when you got money. They always try to take you in to get a payday. She says, I have succeeded, Richard answered. All right? She's just mad because she wasn't able to have a good life. Typical bitterness. Okay, so it says, on redirect examination, Dawn Richard explained why her accounts over time may have had some missing details. There's nothing to explain. You messed up. You messed up. It says, on redirect examination, Dawn Richard explained why her accounts over time may have had some missing details. Every day it gets easier to remember certain things, Richard said. I was trying my best to do it to the best of my abilities. No, you already messed up. You already messed up. You're not a credible witness. All right? So now, it says, Richard says she has no doubt about alleged 2009 assault. We're still talking about Cassie. Why are we still talking about this damn woman? It goes on and says, during the government's redirect of Don Richard, prosecutor Metzi Steiner asked whether the former Diddy Dirty Money singer had any doubt about whether Sean Diddy Cohn dragged Cassie Ventura up the stairs in 2009 after striking her for allegedly not cooking his eggs fast enough. Now, why would a man strike a woman for not cooking his eggs fast enough? Shouldn't he have a chef? If this man is a multimillionaire, shouldn't he have cooks and chefs and other people that could do all of these things? And why is dawn everywhere where this is happening? So you're in the kitchen while she's cooking eggs. This is all hearsay and conjecture. They should have put me to be an attorney, because I would have cross-examined all these damn animals in the court and embarrassed them by using their own words against them. So it says, no doubt, Richard says. Richard had no doubt about hearing glass breaking as if being thrown, which means you didn't see it. It's as if being thrown directly afterward, she said. And no doubt about a meeting Combs allegedly, which means it didn't happen. You don't know if it's true, right? Allegedly. You ain't just say it as a fact. You're saying allegedly. Allegedly had the next day with Richard and another bandmate to warn them to stay silent. It says Richards, who earlier said her initial recollection were hazy because she was actively trying to forget that time. Yeah, you was actively trying to forget that time? Cap, you wanted money. Also explained why she had reached out to Combs after leaving Bad Boy. The music label he founded. One time was because she was trying to rekindle a relationship with choreographer Laureen Gibson, who Richard said advised her to reach out to Combs first. As for Richard reaching out to Combs to reunite Diddy Dirty Money, she said she did so to help a friend, Cap, former bandmate Kalina Harper, who Richard suggests was having a hard time. I didn't want to go back, Richard said about her own personal desires. It wasn't good. I didn't want it. All of these women are always saying what they didn't want to do, but they were always tied around Diddy. Everybody wanted to be around Diddy because he's the money bag. You know? It goes on and says, during the government's redirect, Sean Combs at one point scooched his chair up and leaned forward on the defense table, appearing to look intently at prosecutor Metzi Steiner, who was asking questions from lantern and stands in front of jury box. I don't know what the hell that means. Defense implies Richard motivated by money. Of course she is. Defense attorney Nicole wrapped up Dawn Richards' time on the stand Monday morning by challenging Richards' assertion that she didn't personally want to return to Diddy Dirty Money, the group Richard formerly was in with Sean Diddy Combs and Kalina Harper. Westmoreland asked Richard if she understood reuniting would mean spending substantial time with Combs, including touring with him. It goes on and it says, Combs' lawyer then brought the questioning back to Richard's September 24, 2024 lawsuit, when Richard said she hoped for justice as a result of filing the lawsuit. Westmoreland asked whether money was a part of that justice. Richard's complaint outlined financial grievances, including the claim that she is owed more than $3 million in unpaid wages and royalties. Yes, Richard answered. So right there we have her motive. Her motive for even doing any of this is money related. Nobody's going to be in court testifying against Diddy if there's not money to be made. None of you will go to the 9 to 5 to waste your time punching the clock if you weren't getting paid. I would not be sitting out here in the hot sun if I was not monetized. I would not be wasting my damn time. Everything we do has a price, and everything we do is for $1. And nobody's in court right now testifying against Diddy if it's not money involved. And nobody would be suing him if he didn't have money to give. So the motive is always money. It's not about, oh, I want justice. I was hurt. I was abused. I was sexually assaulted. I want him to go to prison. No, you want money. Everybody want money. Listen, there are women that would rather take money than the man go to prison. You got some women that get raped and molested, and they would say, look, give me 10 million. That's all I want. I don't even want you to go to prison. I want money. Sick, right? But that's exactly how they are, guys. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about justice. They want money. You know? Let's get back to the content. The government has called for its next witness, Kerry Morgan. The jury was introduced to Morgan last week as part of Cassie Ventura's testimony. Morgan was Ventura's longtime best friend, but cut off her relationship with the singer in 2018 after an alleged incident in which Sean Combs attacked Morgan with a wooden hanger. He attacked her with a wooden hanger. This is what court is about, Ben. When are we going to get to actual charges of the charges that Diddy is on trial for? We're talking about stupid stuff here, man. All this time is being wasted. Let's see. It goes on and it says, Kerry Morgan, friend of Cassie, testifies about Sean Combs' physical abuse. All of these women, physical abuse. And you want me to believe this garbage? All of these friends, all of them, physical abuse? You want me to believe that? It says the second week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial is expected to bring forth more government witnesses, including the return of Danette Kane singer Dawn Richard to the stand. On Friday, Richard recalled man, I'm tired of reading the same garbage, man. It keeps talking about this Cassie stuff. Ventura has already spent we read that already, man. Combs' defense team argues the pair had a volatile drug-addicted relationship in which both parties were violent. Combs, they said, may be guilty of domestic abuse, which we can agree. We can all agree that he did what he did in the motel, but he's not on trial for that. She got paid $20 million, but not the crimes he is being charged with. During cross-examination, Ventura was asked to read hundreds of messages between the couple, including some in which she expressed enthusiasm for the freak-offs. Do you see what I mean? It was all consensual, guys. All of it was consensual. The trial is expected to last 8 weeks. I don't even know what week we're in right now. If it was scheduled to last 8 weeks, I don't know what week we're actually in right now. I don't know. But let me see. Kerry testimony. Wait, they got 6 new updates. 6 new updates, guys. 6 new updates. Let's see what we got. Okay. Morgan testifies. I read that already, right? Nope, I didn't read that. Okay, we read that. Make sure you're hitting the like button, y'all. Gotta make sure you're hitting that like button. This is the only platform that's giving you real world updates regarding this case. Okay. A long friend of Cassie Ventura is on the witness stand discussing how the R&B singer's demeanor shifted after she began dating Sean Diddy Combs, whom the witness described as psychologically and physically abusive. Listen, anytime somebody's looking at your relationship from the outside and you're a man and you're with a woman, they will always accuse you of being physically abusive, controlling, or whatever the case is. I can have a situation where my wife distracts me and I respond. Somebody can hear that on social media and be like, Ringo's abusive, he's this, he's that. And they don't even know me. But because of what they witness or see, they conclude that that is what it is, when that's just life between a man and a woman. Any of you that is in a relationship, let me ask you a question. Do you argue? To all you men and women that have relationships, and if you're honest, I just want to know, do you have arguments, disagreements, fights, times when you get mad? Because I'm just trying to figure out, are we human or are we AI robots that do everything perfect? I just want to know. Do you have kids that get out of line and you scream at them? I just want to know, because sometimes you can have kids and you scream at your kids. A neighbor can see you screaming at your kids and they'll be like, oh, you're so abusive and I can't believe you screamed at your kids. Man, fuck you and mind your goddamn business. You know what I'm saying? Worry about your kids, worrying about mine. And that's what I mean. People that watch you, that look at everything you do, that right there is sick, because they're watching you. They're looking at everything you do and they're judging you based on that. You know, real sick stuff, man. So now when you look at this situation here, this person is saying what they saw. Oh, he was psychologically and physically abusive. How could you say that about another man? Oh, when she started dating Combs, I noticed a shift, like a shift. Something happened, like she wasn't the same person. No, there was no shift. You need to mind your damn business. That's the problem. You're involved in their business. And anytime as an adult that you are in someone else's business to the point where you know everything about their relationship, you're a sick person. You're a sick person. If you watching me and my relationship and you're making all these judgments about how I am as a man, as a father, and you don't even know me, you got too much time on your hands. That means you don't got no life. So they accused him of being physically abusive to her. The friend Curry Morgan stopped talking to Ventura after she was also allegedly assaulted by Combs when she was at Ventura's home in 2018. She lost her confidence big time. Morgan testified of her friend during the early part of the singer's 11-year relationship with Combs. She lost her spark. Morgan said she saw Combs hit her, pull her hair, kick her, punch her. It's interesting how all these women keep seeing and hearing abuse, but they don't do anything about it. They don't say nothing. They don't call the police, nothing. But they always seeing everything. Anytime you're seeing everything that's going on in somebody's relationship, you're a nosy person. And there's a lot of nosy people that watch people all the time. And, you know, it is what it is. I don't really care. I mean, if you're watching me that hard, you don't got no life. I mean, I don't got that kind of time. I'm focusing on business, right? So now let's see what we got. All right. It says Morgan recounts incidents in Hollywood and Jamaica. It says Kerry Morgan said she watched Sean Combs act violently towards Cassie Ventura on 2 occasions. Once at a home Combs was renting in the Hollywood Hills, and another time in Jamaica. This is why you can't have people in your house. This is why you can't have people around you, because people are always watching and talking about you. This is why you don't want to have company at your house. This is why you don't need friends. You don't need nobody near you, because people are always watching you, talking about you, gossiping about you. This is how people are, guys. This is how people are. They knew what he was renting. And notice, all of these people were with him. This is why you need to roll. Listen, when you're a family person, roll solo. Don't have nobody around you. It goes on and says, Morgan describes seeing Combs push Ventura when the pair were in a bedroom in the California home. She couldn't recall the date. Morgan, who said she was in a foyer area in a direct view of the room. So you were in a direct view of the room. So you were busy watching them the whole time. This is what I mean about having agents that sit in your house and they watch you, spying on you. That's how a lot of people are, guys. They come to your house and they spy on you. Don't let people in your house, man. People are dangerous. They'll walk in your house, they'll have cameras on them. They'll plant little bug recorders to record what you're talking about in your home. People are sick. They'll use your bathroom and put a camera in the ceiling in an event. Weirdo stuff, guys. Right? So it goes on and says, I guess she described seeing Combs pushing Ventura and was pretty sure that he also punched and kicked her. How could you be pretty sure? Did you see it? Morgan said Ventura did nothing in response. Just like you didn't do nothing in response. You said you saw all of these things, but you didn't do nothing in response. Hypocrite. You're saying that she didn't do nothing in response, but what did you do? Nothing. You didn't do nothing in response. Morgan said she yelled at a security guard she was standing next to, a man named Ruben, to do something. The guard made clear he wasn't going to do anything, Morgan said. Okay, so why isn't the security guard on trial? If the security guard witnessed this abuse, how come the security guard didn't do nothing? And why he's not on trial? Afterwards, Morgan said she and Ventura left the house and hid behind steps at a neighbor's house as Combs and a security guard searched for them. So Combs was searching around with this bulldog security guard to try to kill y'all. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is like right out of a movie. Morgan described another altercation. Notice how they just have all these altercations. All of this is hearsay and gossip. That's all this is. This whole case is hearsay and gossip. None of it is factual. That's all I'm hearing is gossip. Well, I heard this, I seen this, but nobody did anything. Morgan described another altercation between Combs and Ventura in Jamaica in 2013. Morgan said that after Ventura went to the bathroom, Combs complained that she was taking too long and sought her out. A few minutes later, Morgan said she heard Ventura screaming, sounds that Morgan described as guttural and terrifying. Morgan said she then saw Combs dragging Ventura by the hair. I mean, all of this is bullshit. All these years are passing and all these witnesses are seeing all these things. No police reports. Nobody's calling law enforcement. Don't make no sense, guys. No, makes no sense. jury duty and public entrance. It says Cassie Ventura, former friend Kerry Morgan, was seen arriving to the courthouse on Monday for Sean Combs' trial last week. Ventura testified that their friendship ended after Combs threw a wooden hanger at Morgan in 2018. So he threw a wooden hanger at you. Should we put him in prison for life? Who the fuck cares? I don't care about that. I don't care about wooden hangers being thrown. All of us have thrown something at someone at some point, or threw something somewhere in the house at some point, or broke something. I don't want to hear this. This is dumb. Up to now, they didn't talk about the criminal charges. They're still talking about stupid stuff. So he threw a wooden hanger in 2018. We're in 2025. After the incident, they call that an incident. After the incident, Ventura said Morgan made a demand against the former couple, which both Combs and Ventura paid to resolve the dispute. So let me get this straight. So now, Combs and Ventura paid this person to stay quiet over a hanger. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Okay, Morgan. I don't think she cared if he came in and killed her. Now they're trying to say that he would kill. Kerry Morgan told the jury how she saw Cassie Ventura in 2016 after she was attacked at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles after leaving a freak-off with Sean Diddy Combs. It was a short time after the incident, which was recorded on a surveillance video at the hotel. We're still talking about that damn hotel. Most of you that are viewing this show, of course, you want to hear about what's the trial about. We're still talking about the same garbage, guys. This is crazy, man. So they're still talking about the hotel surveillance video at the hotel. And Ventura returned home in rough shape, according to witnesses who had been staying at Ventura's apartment. So let me get this straight. You're saying that she returned home in bad shape, but all of you guys didn't do anything in terms of calling the police, reporting Diddy, and doing X, Y, and Z. Nobody did anything. She had her hoodie like over her head, and she was kind of slumped and just dropped her bags, Morgan said. And then she pulled her hoodie back, and she had a black eye. About a half hour after Ventura arrived, Morgan said Combs began banging on the front door with a hammer, and Ventura appeared numb. So let me get this straight. She has a black eye, Diddy has a hammer, you're witnessing all of this, but you don't call the cops. No cops? He has a hammer, but you're in the house. Okay. I don't think she cared if he came in and killed her, Morgan said. So now what they're trying to paint Diddy as a killer now. Now again, whether Diddy had people allegedly killed or not, it's neither here nor there. We would have to prove those things in court. We would have to have evidence. We can speculate, we can share our opinions of what we think, but those are just opinions. You gotta have facts. You know what I mean? Like, I personally believe that he had something to do with Kim Porter's death, but can I prove it in court? Nope. I can't prove it. Do you see the point? This is what fair, balanced journalism looks like. I can have an opinion, but I can't prove he did it in court. We could entertain it, but you can't prove it. The hotel video shows Combs punching Ventura in the face, throwing her to the ground, kicking her repeatedly, remember, with no shoes on. So those kicks, trust and believe it, those kicks did not hurt. You ain't gonna kick somebody with a straight foot. You'll break your damn toes. So those kicks did not hurt. Now, if he would have stomped her head, that's a different story. But kicking her, those kicks that Diddy gave her in the hall did not hurt. I don't want to hear that. She was not in pain. And I'm not condoning what he did, but those kicks were not painful. Man was wearing damn socks in a hallway with a towel on. There was no velocity in those kicks that can cause great bodily harm to that woman without that towel dropping. Let's be reasonable, people. Use your brain and use common sense. The hotel video shows Combs punching Ventura in the face, throwing her to the ground. Notice those words, punching her in the face, throwing her to the ground, kicking her repeatedly, and dragging her. He attempted to cover up the incident, prosecutors have said. Think about how many other incidents was covered up. The transatlantic slave trade was covered up. A lot of crimes against black people has been covered up, but we don't talk about those things because if you do, you're race baiting. Think about all the atrocities done to our people that have been covered up. Nobody talks about it. But when it comes to this case, let's talk about him covering up something. But let's talk about all the white men that commit extortion crimes, federal crimes, and various other scandals in business and banking that goes under the table, money laundering and various other criminal offenses that top executives do in corporations in America that goes unchecked. Let's talk about the bailouts. Let's talk about all these different things that goes down. Nobody talks about that. Come on now. Let's see. Morgan testifies Ventura livelihood was controlled by Combs. Well, your livelihood is controlled by your job employer. If you get out of pocket, your employer will fire you. So you're literally being controlled by the company you work for. Next. Because if you ain't a business owner, if you ain't running your own show, if you're not an investor, somebody that's doing your own thing, somebody else controls your livelihood. So when it says that Ventura's livelihood was controlled by Combs, what are you talking about? It goes on, it says, Assistant U.S. Attorney Meredith Foster questioned Kerry Morgan about the conversation she had with her former best friend, Cassie Ventura, about Sean Combs. Morgan said she would sometimes tell Ventura to leave Combs. Ventura would say that she couldn't, Morgan recalled, because of her job. Her car, her apartment, Combs controlled everything. Look, ladies and gentlemen, most of you that have jobs, apartments, houses, rentals, whatever you have, if you work at a 9-to-5, even if your 9-to-5 is a BS job, you don't really like it, it's causing you problems, you're stressed out, a lot of you won't leave your job. Why? Because you got to pay your bills. You got to pay your car note. Car note is due every month. The bank don't care about your personal issues. They want their money. And if not, we're going to send the tow trucks to come pick up the car. So you're going to bring your ass to work. So when she's telling this friend, well, no, because her job, her car, her apartment, Combs control everything. Please. She says she would have lost all of her livelihood, Morgan says. Prompted by, now think about this. She wants us to believe that if she would have did something, she would have lost everything. That's a damn lie. In this day, women get so much support that if this would have really happened, all she had to do is start a GoFundMe and she would have raised $10 million through GoFundMe alone. Real talk, guys. She would have got the support of the industry if this was true. She says, prompted by Foster, Morgan said that Ventura did not have many friends at the time, and that Morgan was the only one of those friends who was not employed by Combs. So that what they're trying to do here is paint her as not having family, not having loved ones, not having anybody she could talk to. She was personally alone and struggled and couldn't go nowhere and had nowhere to go. That's what they're trying to do right here. you know? Um, so, let me see. So it says Morgan said she noticed that Ventura would feel more positive about her relationship with Combs after spending time with these people. Quote, you could tell they were convincing her it was okay, Morgan testified. Listen, man, this whole case is a farce, man. So it goes on and it says, Sean Combs allegedly attacked Kerry Morgan in 2018 with a wooden hanger during a fit of rage over another relationship that one of his girlfriends, Cassie Ventura, was having at the time. Morgan told the jury about the incident that appears to have led to the end of her long friendship with Ventura. I had concussions, I was dizzy, I vomit a few times, Morgan said, over a hanger. Doesn't make any sense, man. I'm still waiting for the trafficking proof. They're too busy talking about stuff that makes no sense, guys. All I'm trying to do is give you guys the updates on the case. And based on what I'm giving you guys, you can just imagine how boring it must be in that courtroom. It's crazy. So it goes on and says, I was dizzy. I vomited a few times, Morgan said. Afterwards, Morgan said Ventura approached her to sign a non-disclosure agreement on Combs' behalf, which the witness signed in exchange for $30,000. But we trying to make it seem like Diddy's the monster, but yeah, you got people taking money in order to stay quiet. Fam, everybody's in this for money, bro. Morgan did not speak to her friend again after that transaction. You see what's going on? Another update. Kerry Morgan, friend of Cassie, testifies about Sean Combs' physical abuse. We still talking about physical abuse. When are we going to talk about trafficking? When are we going to talk about all of these diabolical charges? When? It's like they are just drowning us with this nonsense, guys. This is crazy. The second week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial is expected to bring forth more government witnesses, including the return of whatever. Did we read this? Because it looked like this is not really an update. Hold on. I read that already. Okay. Okay, so we got some new info. Let's see what we got. All right. The jury has been excused for lunch, but court is still in session as the government and defense discuss elements of Kerry Morgan's testimony that may come up after the break. The government wants to ask Morgan about comments Cassie Ventura allegedly made in which the singer said she didn't want to go to a hotel with Combs, but I have to. Ventura was allegedly packing a bag full of sex supplies, according to Morgan. Defense counsel Mark Agnifilo objected, saying those statements are hearsay. The government contends that this is important to build the argument that Ventura did not want to participate in the freak-offs with Combs. And, you know, they're still trying to prove that this woman is some victim when she was a damn 304 who was swallowing nut sauce from various men. No woman in her right mind would sit there and take that or even stay in a relationship for 10 years with a man that is making her do things against her will. They did the same thing with R. Kelly. They told you that R. Kelly had these women tied up in the house and they couldn't go nowhere. They couldn't see their family. It's the same motive, guys. Same narrative. Look at all the cases they brought up against black men in regards to sexual abuse. They always say that these men had these women against their will and these women couldn't come and go. They couldn't even eat or use the bathroom without a man telling them what to do. It's like, it's just the same thing, man. Same exact story. It says Judge Arun is going to take the lunch break to consider whether the government, excuse me. The judge is basically going to take his break to consider whether to permit the government to question Curry about comments Cassie Ventura made that allegedly pertains to a freak-off, reminding the government and defense lawyers that they need to eat too. Okay. So it says, the Diddy allegations are shocking. Were they also business as usual? It says, in late 2022, well before Sean Diddy Combs got into real trouble, a man in Los Angeles approached Tania Wallace with an offer. The man was a scout for Soft White Underbelly photographer Mark Latina's YouTube channel about people struggling with issues such as abuse or addiction. Wallace, an inspiring singer who sometimes made money doing sex work, took Latia up on it for $300, sitting for his camera and talking about her life. In the interview, she recounted an alleged incident from 2018. A Crown Prince of Bernie flew her from Los Angeles to Miami with a promise to help her singing career. It's always one of those promises to help somebody with a singing career. You don't notice that? These women are always taking promises to help them with a singing career. And when it don't work, they suing you, right? To help her with a singing career. Once there, he took her to a party on Star Island, an Uber exclusive man made enclave home to the celebrities, such as rapper Rick Ross, retired basketball star Shaquille O'Neal, and Combs. The music mogul was throwing the party. Security guards took her phone before she could wander through the property. Wallace entered quite a scene, as she recently described in a Washington Post interview, topless waitresses serving drinks by the pool. What the fuck we talking about? Topless waitresses? So what about Hooters? What about all these women on OnlyFans dropping it like it's hot, selling their butt? Isn't that sex work? Why the government is not shutting all of that shit down? I'm telling you, man, the more you listen to this case and you look at real life, you gotta just laugh at all of this nonsense, bro. It's like we pick and choose what we think is morally acceptable or what is vile and evil. It's sick, man. So, it says, Wallace entered quite a scene, as she recently described in the Washington Post interview. Topless waitresses serving drinks by the pool, she said. Inside, woozy partygoers were having sex as if nobody was watching. Now, this person is at the party, but describing the party. We have a participant who's at the party, but talking about what she's seeing at the party. It's crazy, man. The person we're talking about is you're not going to be able to see it because of the lights that's in the camera. You can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it. You would have to just go to the internet and see it. It's on the Washington Post. Right? It's somebody named Tania Wallace. Right? They have a photo of her, another black woman. Right? So it says that she saw topless women that were serving drinks. Who cares if we saw topless women serving drinks? Just the other day, TMZ posted a party. I'm not sure if it was with Ye or if it was a Diddy party or whatever party it was, and you saw women that were naked and they had food platters on top of the women, naked. How come they're not talking about that? How come nobody's talking about that? Right? So it says that Wallace, I guess they saw partygoers were having sex as if nobody was watching. Wallace eventually encountered Combs outside on a patio couch. At some point, she says, he started masturbating. But she's at the party. She's at the party, guys. She's at the party while all of this is going down. And she says she sees Combs outside masturbating. And she watches him do it. Make that make sense. She's at the party, watching people have sex, watching women serving drinks topless, while she's there, knowing what's going on. She don't leave. She's walking around observing what's going on. Could it have been that the FBI, the feds, paid her to be an insider to get into those parties to find out what's going on? A lot of these people that was hanging around Diddy was agents the whole time. Remember I told you the feds were at the freak-offs. Remember in my last video? I told you. The feds were there the whole time, guys. The whole time Diddy was having the freak-offs, the feds were at the freak-offs. How is it that all of these people are coming forward now, guys? What are the odds of all of this happening? Diddy was being monitored for years. They were watching this man's lifestyle. And I told you 1,000 times, one thing them people don't like is when a black man is living his life. You could disagree with Diddy all you want. You could disagree with his lifestyle or whatever have you. But at the end of the day, that's his lifestyle. You know? So they were monitoring that man the whole time. This is just another wasted day, guys, of this court forest of nothing happening. Up to now, they still didn't get down to the nitty-gritty of what's going on with that man. It's crazy. I'm gonna probably work on the yard a little bit. Do a little workout here. I gotta spray the lawn with some fertilizer. I think it's about time. You said somebody from the inside had to be covering for him? They had a lot of people working with the feds for a long time. Yeah, the Tania chick is a 304. All of them are 304s. All of them. I mean, look, guys, whoever would go to those parties knew what the parties were about. They knew what the parties were about. Guys, if you go to a strip club, you know what's inside, right? If you go to a strip club, you know what's going to be inside. It ain't like I'm shocked at what I'm seeing. If I go to a strip club, I know what's inside. Shout out to Carla. She says, brother, the grass is beautiful. Appreciate that. It's crazy, man. This whole case with Diddy is something else. Look, guys, nobody's defending Diddy. We're focused on the truth. Diddy is being targeted for other reasons that we may not know about. And they're using stuff from years ago, which is typical of what they keep doing. The video that I did about R. Kelly, you guys got to watch that video. It seemed like it's like everybody's trying to avoid the live show I did last night. I did a superb job covering the R. Kelly case, where he was set up and railroaded, and everybody's acting like they don't know what happened. Go watch the video and stop being a hypocrite, having selective outrage when a man was set up. Those two women testified in an interview and basically was defending this man, and then they got coerced into coming against him, and only one pretty much did it. That's crazy, man. And now that man is in prison while everybody's sitting back laughing and making mockery of this guy. Come on, man. I'm still waiting for the trafficking. I want to know and see the proof. I don't see the proof. I don't see no proof about this. And it's at the point where I'm like, look, man, it's like the government have a beef with Diddy that I don't understand what exactly is the intricate details, but there is something that Diddy did. He crossed a line. He crossed a line. Now, we always say humiliation ritual, right? This is a talking point that we always hear on social media. Humiliation ritual. Humiliation ritual for what? What does that mean? We always say that, but no one really explains this. He could be going away for life in prison. If there's a humiliation ritual, it's on Cassie, not Diddy. The one's being humiliated is her, not him. He's already a freak. He don't care. You can't humiliate me as a man if I'm at a party having freak-offs with women. That's not a humiliation ritual for me. A humiliation ritual is when a woman has to go on the stand to tell the whole world that multiple men were taking turns violating her. That's a humiliation ritual. Diddy has not been in a humiliation ritual. If I'm banging different women, how could you humiliate me with that? That's like if I'm trying to talk to a sister and somebody trying to expose me on social media about, yo, so-and-so was inboxing. Matter of fact, y'all remember when Kevin Samuels was alive and he was out dating or with that woman on YouTube, Six the Goddess? Y'all remember that situation? The sister with the nice figure. He was out on the town with Six the Goddess, and he was at a bakery or some sort of shop. And Kevin Samuels was in the video, and he was like, he got on the camera, he was like, receipts shown. He was like, receipts shown. He pointed the camera to Six the Goddess, she was turned around. And you know, she have a nice body. Ain't no lie about that. She have a nice looking body. But he showed her from the backside, and he was like, receipts shown. In other words, because everybody during that time was saying that Kevin Samuels was gay. And he wanted to prove to us that he's out with a woman. So when he did that, I exposed the fact that she was married at the time. She was married. She had a whole family. You know what I mean? So I put that info out there, and lo and behold, Six the Goddess hit me up in the DMs. Well, you know what's so crazy about this, fam? A couple of years back, I had sent her a DM message. A couple of years back, I hit her up in the DMs and wrote, cause you know how it is, social media, you see a fine sister, whatever, and you send a DM just to say something, shoot your shot, whatever the case is. I wrote in the DM, I heart you. Now, it doesn't mean that I love her like I love her. I love to bang her. That's what I love to do. See how I'm keeping it a buck? No cap. I'm a man. I see a woman I like, I'm gonna wanna smash. See what I mean? But now, when she had DM'd me, she was complaining about why I'm exposing her and talking about her family. She said, you could talk about me all you want, but leave my family out of it. So she wrote me a whole long message. And I talked about that in videos. I think I had put it on my Patreon. But then when I had scrolled up, I was like, oh, snap, yo, I tried to talk to Shorty already. See how it's a small world? My point is, guys, a lot of times women do things and they're engaged in certain activity, and then they try to play the victim. She was out there with Kevin Samuels. I don't know what he hired her for. I don't know what was going on. But at that time, people thought that he was dating her. But when I called it out, they played the victim and tried to expose me. She went up on, I'm not sure, that was when she was cool with Danica Marie. Shout out to Danica Marie. Shout out to all them ladies. I don't got no problem with you ladies. You know what I'm saying? The issue is I'm just stating the facts. But during that time, she was trying to expose me by saying, so-and-so is in my DMs saying, I heart you. First of all, you can't expose a man for trying to smash or trying to holler. That's not making me look bad. I'm a man. I'm supposed to want to fuck. So when it comes to Diddy, he's not in a humiliation ritual for having freak-offs. The one who is being exposed and humiliated is Cassie, because she's the one gargling nuts. Now, if you got video of Diddy having sexual relations with a man and it's being shown in court, that's a humiliation ritual. So my point in bringing up the facts is that if a woman is trying to expose a man for being a man, you can't expose me. I had a sister on YouTube that tried to air me out because I tried to holler at her. Me and her communicating in the DMs, talking all our talk. She tried to air me out like I'm some sort of creep and weirdo. But I ended up exposing her on one of my channels badly with all the receipts. Those of you who know, go to that channel and check it out. Y'all know the channel. And if anybody know the channel, put it in the live chat so people could go over there and pretty much check out that video. But my point is, you can never expose a man for being a man. A man is going to be a man. If a man see a woman that look good and he want to smash, it is what it is, bro. You can't expose me for wanting to holler. So when she tried, she literally made a video, and I'm talking about Six the Goddess. She made a video with the other lady, and they was like, yeah, he tried to talk to me. He was in the DMs. He's a married man. So what? So what? I practice polygyny. So how in the world are you going to tell me I'm wrong for trying to holler at you? If I see a sister and I want her, I'm going to go holler. Or if not, if she say something to me, it's going to be on and popping. It is what it is. I'm straight to the point and I tell the truth. I ain't sugarcoating and I'm not lying. So how could you expose a man for being a man? Now, they must have really thought they were doing some work by saying, look, see, because they were showing the DM message. Ooh, look at him. You're showing me talking to a woman. You're not showing me talking to a man. That's not an expose. That's what men are supposed to do. A man is supposed to talk to women. You know? Well, a lot of times women get messy, you know, and they think that that's exposing you. You can't expose me for trying to talk to a woman. That's what I'm supposed to do. Now, if I was trying to talk to a dude, that would be an expose. That would be a humiliation ritual. And normally humiliation rituals come with a price because something was given to you. Something had to be given to you in order for you to go through the ritual. There had to have been a giving and a receiving. That's pretty much it. What's going on? Sean the Navigator in the building. I see Azandra in the building. What's going on? Shout out to everybody coming in. Got Rollo. Got Virgil. Is that Shapira? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name. 144. MM. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the Diddy trial. I'm not pretty much doing no updates right now. I'm just talking to y'all regular because I could probably always do another video later on. We're just chopping it up. Yeah. So Cassie's the one that been going through the humiliation ritual. It's Cassie. It's not Diddy. Diddy is being crucified right now. Just like they did R. Kelly. Again, if you haven't seen my R. Kelly breakdown video, make sure you go watch the video. I did a thorough job last night on breaking down the R. Kelly video, showing that man was set up to fail. They lined that man up, bro, and accusing him of, you know, abusing women that are underage. Those women were of the age of consent. And people don't want to talk about that. And you know what's so crazy, guys? When we have these adult conversations, people always bringing in pedophile stuff. And I realize that a lot of you folks that love to talk that talk, you're all pedophiles. People accuse me of that type of stuff on social media. Where's my arrests? Where's the victims? Where's all of that stuff? See, they trying to make something be pinned on you, which is typical of what they're doing to Sean Diddy Combs. They just keep lying on you, making up accusations and hearsay and gossip and talking about this and that. They want it to stick. They want something to be on you. They want some sort of dirt. I never been arrested a day in my life. I don't have a criminal record. Never had handcuffs on me. Nothing. But they would love that to be so. You see what I'm saying? But I find that a lot of people that are talking about these stories, everything that has to do with black men always involves something sexual. And I'm like, it can't be this way every day. Everybody's just talking about sexual stuff. Somebody being abused, somebody being violated against. That's all lies, man. People are lying every single day to get a check. All of the women involved with this Diddy trial are all bitter, angry because they couldn't have a relationship with that man. That's why I tell you viewers, you got to be smart when you're listening to content. Stop listening to these gossip channels that gossip all day. You got to look at facts. Look at what makes sense. Don't listen to people manipulating stuff, manipulating clips, gossiping, talking this, saying, bro, if you listen to gossip and bochincha all day, it'll shape your public perception about people. And before you know it, you hating people that you don't even know. You know? And it's sick. That's the world we live in. You know? Right now, Diddy is innocent right now. He didn't do anything wrong. Except DV. That's it. But he's not on trial for that. So why they keep pushing that on us? He's not accused of, listen, the stuff they keep programming everybody's minds with has nothing to do with his charges. All they're doing is just trying to shape public opinion and make us hate a man. That's it. It's hot over here, bro. There's something even better about be careful of your friends. Don't have any. Don't have any. That's how you be careful. Don't have any friends. I was watching a video. Somebody was like, somebody came into my video and was like, yo, man, I see the bruises on your face. You okay? Bruises? Bruises on my face? What are you talking about? What bruises are you talking about? Some people are stupid, bro. You see shadows. I'm talking about bruises on my face, like somebody beat me up or something. People are weird, bro. There's a lot of weirdos out here, man. Just love drama. You said your daughter said I should be Diddy's lawyer? I don't know. I don't want to do that task because I'm not here to defend him. I'm here to defend the truth. Because again, the trial is still early. We don't really know what's going to come out. Again, guys, I'm not here to defend Diddy. I'm not here to defend him. He got money. He can hire his attorneys. I'm here to defend the truth. I'm here to give a clear, neutral perspective on the case. That's it. I'm not here to defend nobody. I'm here to look at the evidence, to be neutral and weigh the evidence on who's guilty and who's innocent based on the facts. That's it. You understand? Facts. That's what you should be concerned with. Not taking sides based off of your own personal opinions and your personal experiences. No, because if that's the case, we're going to end up sending another black man to prison for a long time. You know? We're going to end up sending Diddy to prison for life if we continue down this path of just judging people based off of gossip and rumors. And that's how it is on social media. Content creators will spread gossip and rumors even though they know it's false. I have content creators that know lies were told about me, but would still spread the lie. Knowing. And these are people that claim they follow the Bible. That is why I don't take people serious, guys. I don't take people serious. I don't. And one thing I noticed too is a lot of family and friends, they some of the worst people ever. They don't care, bro. That's why when it comes to the Diddy case, I had to pull back my commentary in terms of dragging. I'm not dragging that man, bro. I'm not. I don't want to be caught up in another man going to prison for life. I don't want to be caught up in that. I don't want my platform to be used by the devil. You know? I don't want that to be done, bro. So I refuse to do what other people are doing. I'm looking at these content creators. They don't have no soul. They're horrible reporters. They're not fair. They're not balanced. They go where the audience want to go. So if the audience hate Diddy, their content is going to be based on let's hate him. Let's just talk about him in a negative way. That's how they make money. You know, it's not profitable to speak against Cassie. If you do that, people will hate you, or they'll judge you, or they'll say you're defending Diddy. It's weirdo stuff, man. But that's what goes down. P. Diddy what? Was telling the same lie about you. Yeah, that's all they do. Who cares? None of that stuff mean anything. And those are supposed to be Bible believers. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get up on out of here. It is burning up. I've been out here. How long I've been on? 3 hours? I've been on for 3 hours? Oh, man. I'm literally burning up, man. Damn. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get up on out here. I'm gonna come back out later, man, when the sun go down a little bit, man. Because I'm burning up right now, man. I've been out here for like 3 hours, 3 hours cooking in this sun, bro. So, hey, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch y'all later on with more. Make sure you share the video also and check out the R. Kelly video as well that we did. All right, so peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. Y'all have a blessed one. Catch y'all later on. Peace.